Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Testings for me. We sound all right. Oh, I was just looking at their events.
Get part 6 ready to upload for tomorrow morning of October. Like, Pokemon I get.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Lorcana I get. It's fucking Disney.
Yeah.
Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! I get. Those two plus Pokemon were the big three.
It's like we've entered a new
If
era.
the launch succeeds, what comes next?
But
Okay, let's go for another.
One Piece over Final Fantasy?
Guess so.
When Final Fantasy plays
How about a
super
Sean
similar to
search?
Magic.
You
Like,
guys here to
what?
relax too?
Here are the latest forecasts for
I don't get it. Like, all the card shops era seem to sell and do everything but the, like, 2 or 3 games I want to play.
Yep.
Like, tried to get into Vanguard. Nope. Played a lot of Force of Will, then that just fucking died out. My group died out. Both my groups died out for that.
Shall we search?
Extra care is advised for those
Like-
traveling through the vicinity.
That's
Anything
all
that I
weather
seem to
report.
want to play, people are like, oh, get out of here with that anime cringe. What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
Coming to you live from the nation.
Come and see if you like.
Where's the radio at?
Oh, it's what they were listening to.
Okay, anyway.
So,
Hey, everybody, Arkanova here.
And Focus Heal.
Bring back some more Trails Beyond the Horizon. Last time we went through the Grim... No, that was the time before that. We made fucking weird ice cream bean paste thing.
And
what's
it
it
was
got
good.
for us?
It was okay. One of the girls working at our bazaar, named Sinem, has gone missing since last night. I would like to once again call upon the aid of this brigand and his entourage, who aided in her reformation from pickpocket to reliable helper. I'm waiting by the bulletin board, so come speak to me if you're able to take this request. Looks like we already got a request on this district bulletin board too. Van's been active in the city before, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised people bought into the rumor so quick. If that's the case, I guess it wouldn't hurt to check the boards more often. Now then, we may have fumbled around a bit first, but I'm pretty sure we've got everything I need. All that's left now is to confirm a few things on my own, but... What's up, Mr. Onion? Mr. Onion would actually fit better on someone else I know. What? Don't tell me there's a walking, talking onion out there. Hate to break it to you, but I think he's saying someone else's hair looks more like an onion than his does. He's referring to the man who heads one of LeBeau's foremost research firms. Their crisis management capabilities are second only to Marduk's. Of course you two are familiar. Bet they even get along, too. Anyway, considering it's already 3, why don't you all head off for a break? There's even a hammam here. I say you go have a nice leisurely sweat and... Father Kevin? You said you wanted to see what we're capable of, didn't you? Then doesn't it only make sense that we're here for whatever it is you're planning? Exactly. We have as much right to be here as you do. I mean, you don't. Plus, if you're going to go to some strip club or something, we need to make sure to report that to your childhood friend. With evidence. You wouldn't even know how to contact her. And I mean, all I want is a little peek. I knew it. A strip club? Perhaps I'll explain when you're older. On that note, however, I wouldn't mind accompanying you, Kevin. Oh ho, did I sound like a plan then?
That's.
She's pissed. So, you have enough money to drop freaking 10 Mira bills down some stranger's G-string, but I can't stay at the Altamira? Did you want to go too, S?
Oh.
I don't think I'd meet the age requirement. Plus, why would I even need to go when I have you? Anyway, let's get back on topic. I'd say it's safe to assume you figured something out. Something definitive. Like, remember him when he was always, like, dismissive of her feelings? And now
Yep.
he's like, oh, I have you.
Yeah.
But, I mean, sometimes a man needs a little something strange, you know what I'm saying?
I know.
Or maybe you just need a slot in the last piece of the puzzle. Fine, you guys can come. But, is your partner going to be okay? She's looking like she's trapped on Cloud 9. Gosh, S, you're practically wrapped around my finger, aren't you? At this rate, you're going to out-affection me. And I will not allow. Whoa, Nadia looks like a boiled octopus. But she's wriggling around like a jellyfish. What you see before you, Lapis, is what happens when one is in the spring of their youth. So where exactly are we headed? Where we can get a good view of the entire oasis. The Cultural District. Alright. So
Of
anyway.
course. Sure thing.
All right.
Very good.
I got this.
Got it.
Leave it
There
to
we
me.
go. Starving princess, we must feed the lady. Kevin's group decided to take a short break. Everyone split up so they could do whatever. This looks like it might be a good spot. Oh.
That's.
I've got a bite.
Nope.
Yeah, she's got a Sprite. One more time. Yeah. Oh. Come on.
No.
Girl, why can't I catch it? How does one even hook those things?
I don't know.
Lapis? Hungry. Oh, Kevin, have you come to fish as well? Nah, I was wondering where you went. Thought I'd see what you're up to. I didn't expect to find you volunteering to clean up the oasis. I'm so impressed. Here, have a candy. Grrr. I'm just messing with you, sorry. Guess I never pegged you for an angler. Not that you seem to be doing a good job of it. I do not require your pity. Unrelated, but are you any good at fishing? I'm alright. I don't mean to brag, but I do manage to keep myself fed when I'm out on trips. Oh, or if you'd like, I could give you some pointers. No, just do it.
Just do it.
Please. Oh, and may I have that candy too?
Mm-hmm.
She's a baby. This candy's delicious. Well, great. Got it from an old friend of mine. I think his name was Harwood.
No.
You know, you're more outdoorsy than I thought. I mean, going fishing and all. I take it that's Swin and Nadia's influence? Yes, they taught me how to fish when we first started our journey together. Not good enough, I guess. Did you know that the fish you catch yourself are super tasty? Really? Then how many fish have you caught? Just a few. But I caught a bunch on my own before, I swear. Maybe you're just not used to that new body of yours yet. Fishing is like a conversation. Whatever panic you feel will travel through the rod down into the water and alert the fish. So first things first, lower your line into the water slowly and wait. Even if something bites, you must remain calm. Okay, I'll give it a try. You know, you are surprisingly nice to me. Considering you are cold to everyone else. It's because you're a baby. Say what now? What? It could be a while before something bites. We might as well have a conversation of our own. I'm not trying to be nice to you, Lapis. I'm basically just giving you a sort of candy to make sure you do your job properly from here on out. Harwood's candy. Huh? Would that be called nihilism? You really shouldn't say something like that to someone. They would never have to know otherwise. You're the one who asked. Well, whatever. Maybe talking about social subtleties is a little tough for you. Maybe, but that's why Rufus and I are such a great pair. But what about you, Kevin? I heard you used to do these sorts of jobs a long time ago. But this is hardly used to, is it? You've got me there. I suppose being an adult means knowing when to flip the switch. Guess that's why I was selected for this. Huh? I don't really get it, but that sounds tough. I mean, I don't know what reaction I expected, but why am I even talking to you like this? Don't ask me what's going on in your head, but you know, I am kind of jealous of me. I've never once doubted who I am. At the end of the day, I'm probably never going to change. There's no reason for me to change myself and no reason for anyone to change me.
But a few months ago, when I became Altera, I encountered the feelings and sins of Swin, Nadia, and so many others.
Yep, she was Altera Mayor.
And ever since then, I sometimes have this feeling of uncertainty.
Oh, don't worry about it. You're you.
Not knowing what that uncertainty is only makes me feel worse. I am me. But is that really enough?
Yes. I see. Sorry, but I don't have any words of comfort for you. Nor do I think you'll find those answers with Rufus and the others. You've just got to think it through for yourself. You've got to find that answer on your
On
own.
my own? Yeah, you're right. I get that feeling too.
And now my depression's making the fish
You know?
scared.
You're actually a nice guy, Kevin.
No, he's not.
No.
No, Lapis. I already told you. Fine, sure. I'm a nice guy. Whoa, I better reel this in fast. Hold on. Remember to remain calm. You've got to let it exhaust itself once it bites. Now. Yep. It's a Whopper. I did it, and it's a Whopper. Wow, I wonder what it tastes like. Tastes like fish. That's your first thought? This is all because of you, Kevin. Thanks so much. I mean, I didn't really do anything, but you're welcome, I guess. All right, time to catch it and tell your school.
Is that really enough, huh? Can't say I don't know what that feels like.
Two of them continued at it, catching multiple fish. They brought the fruits of their labor back to the inn, where they cooked and ate the fish together with everyone else. It's no Algemiran fish, but it'll do. Yay, Kevin.
Kevin.
All right. Rufus. Strip club. Let's go see strippers. You ready to go see those strippers? We're at the casino. So you decide to join me after all? Glad to have your company, Kevin. Figured I might as well, you know, since you can't afford to play. Though I gotta say, I'm surprised you'd invite me to a casino of all places. You're the one who says you'll fund all my mirror expenses. But I guess you do kind of look like the gambling type. Let us just say that I frequently poked my head into the entertainment district back in the Imperial capital. I invited you here today because I was hoping we could have a chat and you could pay for my entry. A chat? You and I haven't yet had a proper sit down and discussed what's really going on. You're right, we haven't. Such a lack of conversation hardly leads to a healthy relationship between client and contractor. So I thought that a card game might be the perfect tool to loosen the lips, as it were. And as an added bonus, I'll have a chance to fortify my family fortunes. You admit you're just trying to rip me off? Well, why not? You went out of your way to invite me, so I'll play along. Can't say I wouldn't mind taking what little cash you have left. Then shall we begin?
Money, money.
Oh, Rufus, you ain't seen poor yet. I'll swap 2 cards. At the risk of sounding late on the uptake, I admit it seems things are quite rough for you. They are sending you all the way out here after all. You're not supposed to swap your cards face up, Rufus. You even had to find your collaborators on site. As unconventional a way to operate as I've ever heard. Swapping 1 card. Heh, well, it's been like this for a long time now. They even sent me to Liberl and Crossbell on my own. That's not quite true, is it? You had backup then. Things are different this time around. For now, I must say, including your current request, your notorious boss has been giving you rather violent orders. Well, she is as violent as she looks. I'll say this, while she's happy to exploit us, she's never made the wrong call. Which is why I'm happy to play things by ear. Flush. That's a flush, by the way. And 2 pairs for me. You win this round. Shall we continue? Can you afford to? I'll raise. Must have some pretty hot cards. By the by, you ever consider just heading back home? I know you and your little brother were close. Let me guess, you still keep in touch? Secretly? Seems like he's got a bunch of people around him who could help with that. Yep. Aurelia and fucking Muse. only to inform him that I still live. I only call him once a day to let him know I'm not dead. He has grown tremendously. There's no need for his unworthy, disowned older brother to show up. You saying you aren't relying on your cards of the Empire? Forgive me for taking that with a grain of salt. Oh ho, speaking of cards, I got myself a good hand. Is that so? Then I expect you'll stay in as I raise? Huh? You must be feeling real confident. Indeed, you'll come to regret it if you underestimate me, just like you underestimate them. She got a bear. She's so cute.
Bear.
Huh? And what about your hand? At first glance, you appear to have your cards in order, but I sense an overhanging guilt. Childhood friend, boobs. I'm going to have to fold on this one. How unfortunate. I look forward to earning more of this royal straight flush. You weren't bluffing. That hand's insane. Let's go again. He's the man. Give me my money. Man, you're tough. Your poker face is every bit as good as I'd heard. You have proven quite formidable yourself, considering your opponent. God damn it.
Yeah.
He's so fucking handsome.
You can't.
Bothers me how fucking attractive he is. Dude.
Yeah.
He looks so good. Even now, you've yet to show me your true colors. Kind of goes both ways, doesn't it? I'm still trying to figure out just how good you and Swin and Nadia included. A couple of games of poker doesn't mean I can suddenly trust you. I think it's a matter of whether or not you want to trust us. Connections begin when we remove cold calculations and self-interest. Nothing will happen until you take a leap, just like I did when I first met Lapis and the others. Calling me surprised. I never thought I'd hear something like that coming from you. Let's just say I'm a product of my life's experiences. I'm sure you've had enough yourself, even more than me. But even with all your life lessons, it appears to me as if you're suppressing your true self. You have a mission you must see to the end at all costs, even if it means distancing yourself from those you care for. Am I wrong? You're hardly a match for the rumors. I wouldn't have pegged you as someone who was so interested in others. I simply have people I care about now, which means I will do whatever I must to make sure they aren't harmed in any way. And that starts with finding out just what it is you're after. Sorry, but I can't go blabbing about that just because you asked. All I can really do is show you my resolve. And then I'm ready and willing to dirty my own hands in order to protect everything. Royal flush. Garbage. Full house. Pretty good.
It seems we both have full houses. I suppose this ends in a draw.
Damn. A win there would have really helped me to look cool. But I suppose this too is the guidance of the goddess.
Indeed. I shall be keeping a close eye on you as we work.
What's Rufus's full
Prove
house?
to me this resolve of yours is deserving of our help. Personally, I truly hope that it is.
I appreciate it. And don't worry. I'll do everything I can to prove you right.
After that, the pair continued to enjoy gambling at the casino. I think Kevin's full house would have won. 10s over 2s.
Mm.
But they met up with their friends to resume work. Work. Alright. Anyway. I don't know where your little lady, child, homie friend went. Excuse me. You Faisal? The one who put in that request? Yes, that's me, and you are? Don't look like any fixer I've ever seen. Don't worry, I'm an acquaintance of Arkwright's. Well, more or less. Things at the capital are keeping him kind of busy, so I'm here in Tharbad taking up jobs for him. Well, I suppose that makes sense. Perhaps this is fate. I'll get right to the point then. I'd like to ask you all to help search for Sinem. Sinem? I think I remember seeing that name in one of Van's files. Yeah, the girl with the sticky fingers. She started working at the bazaar after Van caught her red-handed, though, right? That's correct, but my intuition kept telling me she wasn't a bad person at heart. You see? So I hired her. And she's fit right in ever since. Why? It's as if she's always worked with us. Someone who'd fallen through the cracks of society saved yet again by the Spriggan. So you're assuming the Sinem girl has disappeared, yes? Is it possible she's just the type of person who likes to come and go as she pleases? Well, she was when we first were getting to know each other. But recently, she'd actually made a bit of a point to tell me when she was leaving. And this is the first time she's ever gone out overnight. If you don't mind me asking, you didn't get into a fight with her, did you? Just wondering if maybe she ran away. No, we haven't argued at all lately. It seemed like she was finally getting used to her new life. If she left, I can't think of anything she'd done that would have suggested she was planning to. In that case, I suspect either an accident befell her, or she encountered some other form of peril.
Uh-oh.
I thought the same, which is why I'm asking you all to look for her. I need to know she's safe. Please, would you find Sinem for me? Grand law. Sure. All right, we'll take the case. A member of the church can't exactly ignore a child going missing, after all. Thank you. Arusha herself must have guided you here. We pray to Adios in this house. So, are there anywhere you searched already? Yes, the cultural district. I've tried my best to look down every street, every alleyway. I even asked the other shopkeepers if they'd seen anything, but the only thing they could tell me was that she had been in the bazaar until at least yesterday evening. I see. Then that means we can stick to talking to people outside the bazaar, right? Indeed. Before we head off, however, did Sanem do anything in particular recently that gave you cause for concern? No, nothing worth mentioning. But now that I think about it... So she did? Well, it's possible. It's possible I'm just being a worry ward. But lately, it sort of seemed like she'd been up to something. Didn't think much of it because, like I said, she usually let me know before she left the house, and she always came back within the hour. I wouldn't think it was a big deal either then, but still. The fact she never told you why is definitely raising some alarms. Alright, Fazil. Leave the rest to us. We said we'd bring Sanem back, and that's what we're gonna do. You sound just as reliable as Van's group did. Well then, I'll be counting on you. So, Sanem almost certainly disappeared sometime last night. The first thing I want to find out, though, is what time she left the cultural district and which direction she was headed in. But nobody in the bazaar actually saw Sanem leave, right? Maybe we should find someone else to ask. You know, actually, we went to Aramis with someone who happens to be in the area today. She's here visiting home, apparently. We just saw her outside the station. Man, she saved our butts at school more times than I can count. And given that she and her family seem to live in the culture district, I bet she'll be able to give us just the lead we're looking for. A local who spends most of her time away in the capital. Which means, unlike the others, she'll be looking at the area with fresh eyes. Yeah, might be something she's picked up on that the others haven't. What's more, she apparently came home by the evening train for Edith last night. Heard it arrived pretty late, too. Meaning she was probably in the bazaar when all that had already packed up for the day. Yes, I have heard the shopkeepers head home pretty early around here. So this girl might actually just be the ticket we need. Alright, let's see what she has to say.
We'll
trying to remember
sort
who
this
it was.
forest Fiji
Who they're
out
talking
in no
about.
time.
Oh, just friggin' Arya. Just random ass girl.
Let me ask you this.
I am full. Yeah. Oh, Swin, Nadia, is there something I can do for you? And, who are... Just a few friends of ours. They're here helping us look into something. Speaking of which, we wanted to ask you a couple of questions. For a job of ours. Yeah, kind of like the ones that came from the suggestion box back at Aramis. I see. I'll try to help as much as I can then. Can't ignore a request from two of my underclassmen after all. Thanks for being so understanding. Sanem? Well, yes, I know her. Ever since she started working at the bazaar, I've run into her nearly every time I've come back to Tharbad. So she's disappeared, has she?
That's
It was pretty dark when I was out in the bazaar last night, so I can't say for certain, but I believe I saw someone who looked like her heading in the direction of the entertainment district. Alone. Really? Yes, it was after the bazaar had closed for the day. I was just on my way home from the hammam. And Fazil said she didn't tell him she was going out so late, too. I wonder if whatever she was heading to the entertainment district for is related to the things she was being all hush-hush about. Well, considering she hasn't returned since, the possibility of her still being in the cultural district is next to zero. For the moment, we should focus on figuring out what she was doing in the entertainment district. Thanks, Arya. You've really helped us out today. Well, I'm glad to hear it. And if Sanem's in trouble, please help her for me. I'd really appreciate it. Don't worry, we've got this. So, she went to the entertainment district last night. What's our next move? Doubt there's any more information to gather about her in the cultural district. Maybe we should find someone who sees a lot of people enter and leave the city. That should help narrow down whether or not she's still in Tharbad, at least. Yes, perhaps we should visit the young man who manages the parking lot. I spoke with him a bit after leaving the rental in his care. He seemed awfully attentive to his surroundings. It's possible he may have noticed something related to the conundrum. Right, even if he didn't see Sanem, he might still have something useful to share. Then it's settled. Let's head over and speak with the parking lot manager.
we go.
We go. Which would be in the entertainment.
Away we go.
Away we go. Oh my god. Talk to
Let
me,
ask you
Darvish.
this.
Sanem? Oh, you're talking about that girl that drops in from the cultural district every now and then. Sorry, no, didn't see her around last night. Probably means she didn't leave the city then, huh? Wait, but you said Sanem drops in from the cultural district every now and then. What would she need to come to a parking lot for? Well, as a matter of fact, there's a homeless man who lives around here. His name is Nasri. Tries to sleep in our lot sometimes, so I usually have to keep an eye out for him. Apparently, he sort of took Sanem under his wing back when she was still a street urchin. So now she's off the street, she wants to return the favor. You know, gives him food and water and stuff. Maybe that's what she wasn't telling Fazil about. Yeah, helping out a homeless guy sounds not exactly like the thing she'd keep under the radar. Oh, what if he knows where Sanem went? Good thinking. Mr. Manager, you know if Nasri's still somewhere in Tharbad? Well, actually, nobody's really seen the guy since last night. Kind of weird if you ask me. Usually when he leaves in the evening, he's right back in the same spot come morning. So in short, the man disappeared at the exact same time Sanem did? Yeah, can't say for sure there's any connection yet, but I'm starting to have my suspicions. Guess two people disappearing at the same time is a bit strange, huh? Reminds me of when I was a kid. There was always someone watching us, telling us to watch out for kidnappers back then. Were kidnappings common in Tharbad? You got that right. See, the Central East used to have a pretty big problem with human trafficking back in the day. And it just so happened that one of the organizations responsible for that problem expanded all the way into Tharbad about 10 years ago. They kind of fizzled out over the couple of years, though. Haven't really heard much about them since. Guessing either the guild or the police dealt with them. Could you be talking about... I see. So it was an issue with roots of the Central East. However, I've heard the number of related incidents have diminished rather significantly recently, thanks in no small part to El Slime and the church. Yeah, of course. I'm just saying, I remember when the kidnappings were happening on a regular around here. That's all. That would happen again in this day and age, but it is pretty strange that two people would disappear at the exact same time. Indeed. I wonder if they ran away together. Yeah. I wonder, are those kidnappings really just a thing of the past? Yeah, I've got a bad feeling about this. All the signs seem to be pointing to one answer. I think it'd be best if we got some insight into what's going on in the Central East underworld right now. Right, something down there could give us a clue whether or not the kidnappings are making a resurgence in Tharbad. Perhaps we should ask someone familiar, not only with the current state of affairs in Central East, but their long-standing social issues as well. I believe there's a patriarch staying at the Al Jameera, who's an independent landowner in the region. Do we think he would be suitable? Yeah, let's go see what he has to say. Yay!
We go.
Yep. Love the games, but this is another pet peeve of mine. Just all these little mini quests. Like, it's fun that they do all this world and lore building, but man, all the random traveling around. Whew.
The cuisine is simply
Oh, you're on the upper floor. Okay. Patriarch Bashar.
Let me ask you this.
Did you steal the girl?
Maybe.
I may have. I have a lot of land, you know. So you're asking about societal issues in the Central East, are you? Particularly related to kidnappings? Well, alright, I'll tell you what I can. That'd be great, thanks. See, there have been a couple of disappearances in Tharbad recently, and we're trying to figure out if they're connected to the organization that was responsible for the kidnappings that happened in the past. Perhaps we should start with some context. You see, slavery existed in the Central East as recently as the Middle Ages, a remnant of the Dark Ages. The Septian temples did prohibit its use, of course, but given its firmly rooted foundations, it proved difficult to eradicate. It's said that during this period, some people even built their fortunes on slavery and so-called slave traders. However, upon entering the modern era, the church in the wider Central East took the initiative to abolish the practice outright. I imagine that's when slave traders went into hiding then, to continue their work from the shadows? That is correct, though depending on the region, there are still powerful families who have bound themselves to the old customs, especially knowing that there's a demand for cheap labor that they can exploit for their own livelihood. And thus the Central Eastern Mafia, which saw its beginning as a group of slave traders in the Middle Ages, remains. Then the ones who tried to expand as far as Tharbad about 10 years ago were them, yes. The Catus Nocturnium. A well-known organization among Central Easterners. They operate out of a region near Valis. Catus, hence their name. Valis' eventual growth incited Catus' destitution, however, which led to the Nocturnium to escalate their criminal activities. For a time, they were even trafficking people in Tharbad, but all the same, they disbanded after losing a conflict with the Mafia group in the Republic. Oh, that's probably how the one lady ended up joining Almada. You mean Viola? But you know, after they were defeated, I thought all the survivors fell into the hands of the military. So what kind of methods did the Nocturnium use to kidnap people? Well, from what I've heard, they would often abduct people to use as bait, then seize anyone who came to their aid. Or occasionally, they would even force the person they initially abducted to scout out easy prey. And that's only two of their methods. Trust me when I say they had plenty more. I make sure to learn them all so I can protect my people. Or use them yourself. Then, Sounds like what might have happened to Sinem and Nasri. I see. I think I got the gist of these Nocturnium guys now. But do you know what happened to their former members after Almada was destroyed last year? Well, I don't exactly know the details, but I heard a good number of them fled home to the Central East. There were attempts to arrest them in Elsyme, and Valis, apparently, but there was no real follow-up on the matter in particular. I see. Wouldn't be surprised if there were a few stragglers somewhere. Thanks, Mr. Patriarch. You gave us a lot of good info. Well, I'm glad to hear it, but the roots of this problem run deep in the Central East. Whatever matter it is you're dealing with here, I'd advise you not to become more involved than necessary. Dang, they're getting got. Alright, I think I'm starting to see the bigger picture. First, Sinem disappeared last night in the entertainment district. And around the same time, a homeless man who had been taking up residence in the parking lot went missing as well. The same man Sinem had been providing aid to. The situation sounds like it had a lot of similarities with the conditions the Goddess Nocturnium had for kidnapping people too. Seeing as they disbanded years ago, though, it's possible this is all just a coincidence. But it's also possible the Nocturnium still has more stragglers around. Honestly, given everything we know right now, there's about a 50-50 chance that the Nocturnium had something to do with her disappearance. And if there's even the slightest possibility that either they or their copycats are involved, we'd better not let our guards down. Yeah, if we turn a blind eye now, there will be even more victims. For the time being, we should move forward under the assumption that Sinem was kidnapped, with the possibility of the Nocturnium being involved. And even if they weren't, at least it'll allow us to eliminate one of the possibilities. I believe our next step should be to search for tangible evidence that a kidnapping took place. Likely in the alleyways. They seem to be the most possible locations for an incident to occur. Yeah, let's see if we can ask someone around the alleys if they know anything.
We're going still.
Like these quests are just so long. Like super involved.
Hey, friend.
Barker's Act. Adults. A kidnapping? Well, I'd heard there were a few in the past, but yeah, well, 2 people went missing late last night. Seems like they were kidnapped, so we're looking into whether or not these have been a resurgence. If a culprit wanted to abduct someone, this alleyway would probably be the best place to do it. That said, we heard you hawk your wares here pretty late into the evening. See anyone suspicious? Or did you maybe take a photo of the very moment the abduction itself took place? Well, now that you mention it, was that? Wait, but thinking about it, it sounds as though you have a suspicion, but no evidence to support it. Well, I don't know if what I saw was a kidnapping or what, but I caught a glimpse of something at a street corner right before midnight when I was on my way home for the day. Saw people loading a sack into a car that was just the right size of a person. That would be consistent with the time of night those 2 disappeared. Suspicious. What happened after? Well, as soon as they finished loading it, they drove off in the direction of the sand dunes. Before that, I think I heard them say something about a cave, but I couldn't quite make it out. The one that's in the sand sea, maybe? Didn't seem like there's anything in there when we went ourselves, but that's why I'd make for the perfect place to meet up with accomplices. That'd be a good idea to check it out again, just in case. Yay!
Ice.
Yep,
Hustle up, gang.
big ice. Oh, that hurt. Alright, into the cave. Yep. I was planning on using the bum as bait for reeling us at a whole boatload of merchandise, but who knew we took a big one so fast? She's in good condition, too. Bet she'll fetch us a pretty Mira. Grr, who the hell are you guys? Why did you take Nasri? And where are you taking us? Sorry you got dragged into this, little lady. What are you apologizing for? These guys are the ones who... Cheeky one, ain't you? Got a feeling you don't quite understand the position you're in, kid. Knock it off. If you want to sell her at a high price, you can't have a scratch on her. But you, Nasri, you're a different story. After all, your job's over now. We don't need a honeypot anymore. So maybe I should just put you in your place, yeah? If I hit you hard enough, you might even lose the will to fight altogether. If that means Sinem won't get hurt, then... Why are you doing this? You know why. We're going to use you guys as a stepping stone to making the kind of money we enjoyed in our prime. Our previous boss lost his head over some woman, you see. Ended up tanking all our profits because of her. Then, just when we thought she had dumped the guy for good, we ended up in a clash against Almada, of all people. God, if it wasn't for that dumb broad picking a fight with him. Viola, probably. But after all these years of hardship, our luck's finally changed for the better. After all, now that Almada's no longer in the picture, we can do whatever the hell we want. Thanks for incriminating yourselves. So the culprits really were stragglers from the Nocturnium. Time to get messed up.
Yep.
Who the hell? You're Sinem, right? Fazil gave us a request to find you. Fazil? Request? What are you talking about? Heh, Brevity is a bit difficult when stating our position here. Let's just say we're currently undertaking 4 SPGs and Arkwright Solutions instead. Arkwright Solutions? Well, that's Alpha Zeal. If I remember right, they're the ones who gave you the chance to turn over a new leaf, little lady. Arkwright Solutions? Those guys who destroyed Almada? But you're just their stand-ins, right? I ain't scared of you. In fact, this could work in our favor. We'll capture all of you and sell you off at a premium. Consider it an honor. Your sacrifice will go toward bringing the Nocturnium back to its former glory. I refuse to allow you to treat people like objects any longer. And you better believe the church ain't overlooking this either. For the sake of this request and as a member of the clergy, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure these plans of yours have no future. And then these, and you're all in.
So lock it in.
Ta-da!
Victory.
How did we? Because I pressed 2 buttons. We're saved. Another Arkwright Solutions and Fazil. Guy was pretty worried about you, you know. So make sure you apologize to him when you get back, all right? For this and for the whole sneaking around without telling him where you were going thing, too. That is what started this issue, after all. But I was just helping out Nasri. I've been trying to repay him for what he did for me when I was still just a stray. I mean, if he hadn't taught me how to pickpocket, I would have started that years ago. Feel like we should do something to help him, too, but yeah, doubt it'll be as simple as helping Sanem was. Well, we won't accomplish anything just by standing here. Let's head back to the city first. Gotta hand these Nocturnium guys over to the authorities, after all.
Oh.
Sexy boots. I love those sexy boots. Sanem, oh, I'm so glad you're all right. I can't believe you were kidnapped. Sorry for worrying you, Fazil. It only happened because of all that sneaking around I was doing. Goodness, I never would have imagined this would turn into such a ruckus. How could I ever thank you all for bringing her back safely? Don't worry about it. You asked us to bring her back, and we did. End of story. Probably would have ended up tracking those guys down anyway. But if you're still feeling extra gracious, we won't say no to a little cash reward. In fact, we'd welcome it. Hey. At any rate, I'm glad we've settled everything with Sanem. The only outstanding issue now is him. I heard you helped Sanem back when she was on the streets, but I didn't do all that much for her. I just gave her a simple lesson on how to pickpocket, really, and that was years ago. What are you talking about? That doesn't even begin to cover what you did for me. You gave me food, taught me how to work as a rag picker. Only did those things to fill up all the free time I had. There's no need to go out of your way for me just for stuff like that. But all that said, I'm glad you were able to get somewhere to call home now, Sanem. Right, at the end of the day, the man who started this whole thing still doesn't have a place to call his own. Yeah, with him out on the streets, it's possible he'd get dragged into trouble again. Well, it seems for us to consider this a case well and truly closed. We'll have to figure out what to do with this man. Consider this my request. Dasher can't keep going on like this, and I think even he knows that. You could help him somehow, like how Arkwright Solutions helped me. Little lady. Well, seeing as how he's a victim too, it wouldn't make much sense for us to toss him to the wayside now. So what should we do? 3 hots and a cot?
I don't know.
Tell him to get his ass out of the desert? Or maybe give him a job. Give him a job is probably law.
Probably is.
Honestly, this might be a bit of an inconvenience to you, Fazil, but if you want to find a place where Nasri can belong, I think we should do this the proper way. And by that, I mean, would you mind recommending the guy a job? Guess that would be the most surefire way to get him off the streets. Sure, I could do that. Got contacts from all over that I can get in touch with. It's just, well, he's no spring chicken if you catch my meaning, and he's got a list of misdemeanors too. It'll probably be a while before I find anyone willing to hire him. Can't he work in the bazaar with us? Well, given how long he's been in Tharbad, I imagine people must know his face pretty well by now. And in the world of business, it's important to maintain an image at all costs. You understand? Right. Well, I'm in no position to be a choosy beggar here, so I'll leave my fate to you. Thus, Nasri set off for his future. With Fazil's request fully resolved, he and Sanem returned to the bazaar.
Woo! 3
Yay.
cheers for us! Our just rewards.
Yay, our just desserts.
Oh, super law.
Mm-hmm.
When we needed a super ray.
All right. Here's where we're going to call the video. As always, thank you all for watching. If you're enjoying the series, you want to see more, like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, follow me on Twitch, Dark Nova Games.
Till then,